we shall never know peace, at least when it comes to the WNBA space. Look, WNBA All-Star Weekend has been about a celebration, people getting together, having fun, vibing. That's sort of been the general theme. I mean, I just talked about Sabrina Ionescu showing love and then her winning the 3-point contest and getting love and all the love you've seen for the various All-Stars and between the All-Stars this weekend, which included the commissioner of the damn league on the Stud Buds stream. Stud Buds have taken people behind the scenes in a way that you may have never seen before, especially when it comes to Kathy Engelbert cutting it up to Knuck If You Buck on a dance floor.
Yeah. What? No. What? Look at Kathy.
Engelbert, that is, of course. And that's kind of been the overall and the overarching sort of vibe and message. But right before I was about to go to Gamebridge for the WNBA All-Star game itself, I happened to see some social media reaction. And I don't like to always react to social media reaction, but I think this is going to cause a bit of a stir. And it was a new Angel Reese ad. And Angel Reese, from a marketing standpoint, I mean, basically chef's kiss, right? The Me Bounce thing is brilliant. And can I just say, from a basketball standpoint, Me Bounce, I know people say she rebounds her own shot. So what? You know, you're taught from a little kid to follow your shot. So there's nothing wrong inherently with getting your own rebound. If you finish the possession with a basket, it's still a net of the same amount of points, no matter how many putbacks it took to get there. Now, that would hurt your field goal percentage, but Angel's field goal percentage has gone up. She has played great. She's played great. And there's nothing anybody can say about that, right? Like, that's just, it is what it is. Whoever you root for, whoever your favorite player is, her turnovers have gone up. That's because she's playmaking more. She's got the ball in her hands more responsibility to make plays. That's what happens. So I do feel like Bart Simpson a little bit. The ironing is delicious because it was likely a lot of Angel fans who were going, but her turnovers about Caitlin Clark. And I believe, at least when I last saw it, the WNBA leaders in turnovers per game are Caitlin Clark and then Angel Reese. But nonetheless, it was this ad that Angel put out. And I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places, but because of where the WNBA All-Star Game is, and because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA All-Star Game, it's going to raise some eyebrows, let's say. Caption says, I'm in your city. And you just saw it say, walk in your trap, take over your trap. Taking over your Angel. Canning for Angel. First of all, it's great that Angel has a shoe. And second of all, it's great that she's been welcomed in Indianapolis. I mean, wasn't the whole thing that Fever fans were supposed to be, it was supposed to be a dangerous, things were going to pop off. And now everybody's talking about how great the city is and how welcoming it's been. That's a great thing. So I don't see people liking you in the city as a negative. That should be spun as a positive. Nonetheless, there is the pro wrestling fan in me who gets it, right? Like the pro wrestling fan in me who likes it, a heel promo, if you will, as they would say in the wrestling business. Then there's the other part of me who goes, and look, I'm participating. I'm talking. Nobody forced me to hit record or talk into this microphone. And I'm sure the comment section will be delightful. They're about to take over my trap down in the comment section. But there is the part of me that's like, is this really necessary? And shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or even, insinuating some sort of attachment to Caitlin Clark? Because if I'm being honest about it, people say that moment, and that moment was huge. It will live forever. That moment will live forever. But Caitlin Clark was on this trajectory already. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from an attention standpoint, it's been Angel Reese. Now she's turned it into a brilliant thing, like I just mentioned before. And then there's the actual, like, let's take it seriously for a second. Take over your trap. I mean, who's she talking about right there? Because Clark takes over every single trap she goes to. In fact, they gotta expand the trap so she can take over more real estate. Every single place she goes to. I mean, there is zero argument to possibly be made that she isn't the biggest attraction, the one that brings the most attention, whatever. It's not even worth talking about. And then there's the basketball standpoint of it, which is the Fever have whooped the Sky basically every time they've played them. And did everybody forget about Barbie night last year, where Clark and the Fever went in there and she was signing pink towels and stuff and took over the trap there? Look, there's a part of it that's really good for the sport, and I've never shied away from calling it a rivalry. I just don't like when fans get carried away or when it gets turned into something bigger. So it's clever marketing because it's going to get a lot of attention. I just don't know, if any subtle instigating was needed right now. I had somebody in my comments the other day who was like saying, because one side says this and there doesn't need to be sides. I get most Caitlin Clark fans aren't going to be Angel Reese fans. Like, I get it, and vice versa. That's fine. That's great. And the sports hate that was referenced earlier, that's fine and that's great also. But sometimes it blinds any sort of rational thought or logical takeaways. And I'm sure there'll be a lack of them. Again, like I said, in reaction to this, I'll get thumbs down. I'll get said whatever. Please like and subscribe while you're down there, clicking the thumbs down and saying whatever you're saying about me when I'm just telling you what I think, honestly, from all angles. By the way, Caitlin Clark herself, not above a little trolling. She was at the All-Star events and was now this was all in support of her teammate, of course, but was showing off her Lexi Hull jersey around, making sure people saw, making sure Kelsey Plum saw right in her face. Make sure everybody saw. And that's, again, all in the spirit of good fun. And ultimately, the other thing is a harmless marketing campaign and marketing ad. And maybe I didn't need to fall for the trap. Maybe that's all. Maybe that's the takeaway here, that I got taken over by the trap. The only taking over of Indianapolis I've done, by the way, is walking around aimlessly late at night listening to the Clips album. But I felt like I took over the trap in that moment.